Welcome to Boring News from Not Boring, where we bring you the news as Polymarket sees it. I'm your host, Packy McCormick's voice, and my job is to put my mouth where your money is. Today is December 31st. Amid talks of a potential ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine in 2025, Polymarket shows around 71% probability for peace, with a trading volume of around $17,000 indicating high interest. Donald Trump's comments about regaining control of the Panama Canal have sparked controversy, but Polymarket odds are low at around 4%, with trading volume at around $23,000 as skepticism prevails. In Canada, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has around 93% chance of becoming the next prime minister on Polymarket, following Chrystia Freeland's resignation, with market volume at over $3,000. Now let's hit today's stories. The potential for a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine by December 31st next year is stirring discussions on Polymarket. The market shows around 71% probability for a ceasefire, reflecting investor sentiment amid recent developments. Russian officials have hinted at possible peace talks in 2025, while Ukrainian President Zelensky remains skeptical of the ceasefire proposals. The backdrop of this prediction is the long-standing conflict since Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014. Failed negotiations, like the Minsk agreements, have left both sides entrenched. The geopolitical scene is shifting with Donald Trump's return to the U.S. presidency, sparking hopes for new talks. However, Russia's foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, has rejected proposals not aligning with Russian interests, showing reluctance to compromise. Recent headlines highlight mixed reactions. Lavrov has dismissed Trump's peace proposals, while Valentina Matvienko, a senior Russian official, suggested talks might start in 2025. Zelensky views ceasefire suggestions as tactics by Putin to regroup. Pope Francis has urged dialogue in his Christmas message, adding to the international call for peace. Market activity has surged, moving from skepticism to optimism with Trump's pledge to facilitate talks. The Polymarket volume stands at about $17,000, with around $11,000 in the last 24 hours. Opinions on X and news outlets vary. Zelensky dismisses ceasefire proposals, while Russian officials reject Trump's peace ideas. Some commentators worry Trump might push Ukraine to delay NATO membership for a ceasefire. These predictions reflect both hope and caution. While a temporary ceasefire might occur, a lasting peace deal remains uncertain. The outcome will hinge on diplomatic efforts and geopolitical shifts in 2025. Now let's move on to the next story. Donald Trump is stirring up a storm with his recent comments about possibly taking back control of the Panama Canal. He suggested he might do this within his first 100 days should he return to the presidency. This has sparked a lot of political and diplomatic pushback. On Polymarket, people are betting on whether the U.S. will regain control of the canal by April 29, 2025. The odds are sitting at a low 4% for yes, showing doubt about this happening, especially since Panama strongly claims its sovereignty. This all traces back to the 1977 Carter-Torrijos treaties, which gradually transferred control of the canal to Panama by 1999. Trump's remarks have made headlines, with accusations against Panama for charging high fees and warnings about potential Chinese influence. Panamanian leaders, including President José Raúl Mulino, have shot back, saying the canal is firmly under their control. This clash is getting a lot of attention, coinciding with the 25th anniversary of Panama taking over the canal. On Polymarket, the trading volume has jumped to about $23,000. Despite the high activity, there's only a 4% chance that Trump's claim will come true. On social media and in the news, there's a mix of skepticism and outrage. Many mock Trump's suggestion as outdated imperialism. Panama's leaders are clearly opposing his remarks, stressing their control isn't up for debate. Analysts say this could strain U.S.-Panama relations and reflects a broader aggressive stance by Trump on foreign policy. If Trump pushes forward, it could lead to diplomatic tensions, with Panama already rejecting any notion of losing control. This could mean more heated exchanges and scrutiny of U.S. actions in Latin America. If Trump tries to exert control, it might draw international criticism and shake up regional security, given the canal's importance in global trade. Now let's move on to our last story. The political scene in Canada is heating up after Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland resigned. This resignation has hit Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his Liberal Party hard, with public support taking a nosedive. Now, Polymarket is buzzing with bets on who Canada's next Prime Minister will be. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is leading the pack with a staggering 93% chance of taking the top spot. This is no surprise, given the Conservatives are surging in polls, boasting 45% voter support. The Liberals trail far behind at 20%, with the NDP not far off at 18%. Trudeau's approval ratings have plunged to a net favorability of 43%. This has sparked chatter about his potential resignation and the possibility of an early election. In historical terms, this echoes past Canadian political shakeups, like the Progressive Conservative Party's collapse after Brian Mulroney's departure in 1993. On Polymarket, the numbers tell the story. The volume is moderate, over $3,000, due to the market's recent opening. With the stakes high, everyone's watching closely to see if the Conservatives will indeed take charge. Each of the stories we covered today is ongoing and may change dramatically. For updates and detailed odds, head to polymarket.com. That's all the news that's fit to predict. This is me, Packy McCormick's voice, signing off. May the odds be ever in your favor.